Okay, our beloveds, can you feel? Can you feel the shift in energy? What is now forward moving is different, isn't it? It's filled with energy, clearing, process, movement, restrictions being released, energies being expressed as they are. And now, our beloveds, there is forward movement in a whole new way. For those of you who see it as restrictions still, well, that shall be how you see it. But for those of you who see that this is how energy moves forward, the releasing of old energies that are now popping up to remind you of what you have to learn, to let go of, to repress no more, to express now, to let the day of light shine on it, all those things which you have denied those inner wounds. Well, they are here, they are here, they are here. And what does this mean for you? It simply means that for those of you who are in the flow, you attach to or touch with a light touch, meaning you no longer hold on or grasp on to those things which you can feel are moving away. It is not an easy process. It is not an easy journey, yet it is here to teach you, to teach you, to teach you what no longer feels good, what no longer serves you, or what you simply no longer desire to have in your life. So honor these expressions of energies. Do not deny them or relax into your old way of being, meaning that you just suppress the desire to move on. There are certain energies which no longer mesh with yours, and we wish to separate them so that you can go on to your next experience, and these other energies can now express themselves with others who are like-minded. You're beginning to understand that life is not as you thought it was, that love is not as you thought it was, and that desire is oftentimes hidden in dreams and wishes versus in realities. And when you begin to honor that which no longer feels good, which no longer feels safe, where you no longer feel heard or seen or honored, well, it is simply because it is time for both of you to move on. Many of you have stuck around way too long based out of a loyalty which is grounded or rooted in codependency versus true love. And these new energies, as we bring in the divine feminine, they're going to shake and rattle and roll until your fillings fall out. Because what you used as a fixing agent to fix the hole in your heart never was good for you, just as Mercury is not good for you. So just expect more losses and more changes in your life, and just lean into them, trusting that all is well, all is well, all is well. Movement forward in a chariot fashion, meaning that you are being pulled by horses over cobblestones. It does rattle the soul at times because it is not a smooth transition, but to get from your current path to your future path, you're going to need to take this chariot down a cobblestone path for quite a while, where it will shake, rattle, and roll everything off of you that no longer desires to go with you to the new world that you are creating. So keep in mind, you have had a lifetime to get to where you are today, and you've got approximately 2 months and a little to get you to the end of the year, when most everything will have been scraped off, as this is the year of change. Next year is the year of 6, which is the year of growth and expansion and something very, very new. You all are manifesting in this year, but the manifestation begins with letting go of what no longer serves you. And it oftentimes looks very much like destruction, but it's just merely scraping off those things that are not meant to be part of your future. And it does leave you raw and wounded and bruised and battered oftentimes. But just trust that this is the process of renewal. We are trimming your tree branches, if you will. We are cutting off those limbs that no longer serves you. And if you had done this earlier in your lives, meaning if you had listened to that inner guidance system more so, there wouldn't be the need for quite as much pruning. But some things that are just a little overgrown and it just needs to be done once, and it does feel like you are bleeding to death and dying. But once the scars kind of wound over or scab over, you will find that you have much renewed energy and desire and hope for a better future. But loss is part of change, and going through the cycle of grief is also important. And you will go through the various stages in a non-linear fashion. And that is simply where you find yourselves these days, along with becoming, in many instances, but not all, a better version of yourselves. And we are watching with great interest here from the outside, if you will, watching your expression of energies collectively, individually, and wondering when some of you will awaken. It is your time, it is your purpose, it is your expression of self. But we must say that some of you are definitely holding on longer than your soul even thought you would. And the probabilities of change are getting greater and lesser than, depending upon what it is that you're going to be calling forth to experience in order to shake loose those belief systems which no longer serve you and which were not aligned with your happiest expression of self. It is our desire to share with you just a snapshot of where you all find yourselves these days, and we just wanted to prepare you all for the carriage ride. So we would recommend that you pack lightly as space is limited. Hold on tightly. Bring warm clothing, because when you're in an outdoor carriage going through the elements, it can be a little surprising at times at what you encounter. Prepare yourself for a period where resiliency might be called upon, and then just simply sit back and watch the show as it unfolds. It will be quite a display of fireworks from now through the end of the year, and you will understand as these expressions present themselves what we mean. But there's no point in allowing you to read the last few pages of the book or to watch the last few moments of the movie to see how this ends. We want you all to have some anticipation, not knowing who, what, where, when, or why, and to really learn to lean into your own coping mechanisms. Many of you still have those of old, which don't serve you, and as things get bumpy, they are being brought to the surface, but not to harm you or not to harm anyone else, but merely to show you where your growth still lies. And for others, it is just to show you where you have made some progress and where you haven't. It's all just a journey of self-discovery, growth, exploration, and knowing that you will have many, many, many lifetimes to figure this out, but still letting you know that your expansion this time will carry over in a different way into the next lifetime. In the past, it was carried energetically This time it will actually be carried in your DNA and in your memory, meaning that you will awaken the next time with these innate knowings that you have transcended certain experiences, meaning that you don't have to remember these things at the age of 50, but instead will come in knowing them at birth, much like a gazelle that is born. They are light and delicate on their feet. They know who is prey. They know who is friend. They know who is foe. They know who to trust and who not to trust, what to eat, what not to eat, what to do with their legs and their body and their mama and their community. It will be a very different experience when you come in, open your eyes, look at the world around you and recognize things versus coming in as a clean or blank slate. So just know whatever work you put in now will carry through into the next lifetime in a meaningful and measurable way, and your efforts are not wasted. And for those of you who just are not interested in releasing those hidden traumas, just know you will have more lifetimes, but your attempts will be obviously more difficult, because when you come in, you will have no knowing, and you will be at a severe disadvantage from those around you, because you won't believe their words next time around as much as you don't believe them this time around, because that innate knowing that your inner guidance system is here to teach you will not carry over into the next lifetime either. It will be a vibrational thing, but not a knowing thing, if that makes sense. So we just want you all to have an understanding of where you all are going, to prepare for it, but not to overthink or overworry. Know that you will be given everything that you need in any moment to provide you the ability to transcend, and that's kind of it. So just hold on, press the stewardess button if you need some assistance from the travel crew because you have some concerns or worries, and somebody will come back to assist you as soon as possible. But other than that, kick back, let your seat go back, look out the window, and just explore. Explore the universe up high in an airplane while you look down at the ground below you, knowing that it is all just little small energies moving about while you are moving from point A to point B to get to your next destination. It doesn't make sense right now, not even to our another, but trust us, this airplane analogy will make much more sense in the coming weeks and months. And so it is. Namaste.